Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. It's a build day, my friends, and it's a rather special build day. The Tamiya Juggernaut. Obviously, all original, never been reread. So this is kind of embarrassing to say. So this is not mine. This is from my good friend Keith over at RC Icons. He asked me a long time ago, would I be interested in building? At the time, it was some of his kits, but I was kind of doing YouTube full time, and I was like, and obviously his stuff's super valuable, and then there's shipping to me and shipping back, so I was kind of put off by that. But anyway, he kind of forced the issue in a good way. And he asked me if I'd build a Juggernaut, but on the proviso that I build it not completely stock, but I build the kit and do a box art body. And then he said, this came in two huge boxes, so there was obviously this one, and then there's a box equally as big, just with bits, because he sent me a second body shell, and he wants a Tamiya Legends, the Juggernaut. And it's not just a body shell, so much more, but I think we'll go into that in a separate video, because there's just too much. And this is going to be a big build today, so I don't want the video to go crazy long. The embarrassing bit is I've been sat on this kit for a long time and not touched it, and I don't honestly know why that is. It's probably because I'm not a massive fan of building for other people, and that just simply comes down to if you make a mistake. If I make a mistake on one of my builds, I don't care, but you'd make a mistake on someone else's, it's a problem. So that's kind of off-putting, and I guess that's why I've dragged my heels. I actually looked back this morning. I made the video when this arrived on the 22nd of January 2022. So I've been sat on it coming up almost, well, not far off. What will it be, 18 months, 19 months? Which is just ridiculous. So Keith, if you're watching, and I'm sure you are, my friend, apologies for that. But yes, today's video is about actually building this thing. Probably won't get to the body shell today. In fact, we won't, because this is going to be a big build. Because the little I know about the Juggernaut, the original, this one came out, and it had a lot of mechanical flaws on it. Hence why the Juggernaut 2 came out quite quickly afterwards. But Keith sourced all the Juggernaut 2 upgrades that Tamiya did to convert the standard Juggernaut, so it was a bit more, I was going to say bulletproof. Whether it is bulletproof after these mods, I've no idea. But he's got the full Juggernaut kit to convert this, to make it. It's not to make it a Juggernaut 2, but to cure the issues it had, and these are all from Tamiya. There's a letter in there as well, which we might read. I've dug out the bearings. There's tons of hop-ups he put together for this. And this is just for the chassis, but when we get into, obviously this body is going to be standard, but when we get into probably the third video with a Tamiya Legends body shell, it's just off the chart, the bits he sent me. It's incredible, as you will see. But yeah, we've got to start somewhere, and this is what I've chosen to do. So in this video, we're going to build the Juggernaut with these upgrades, and it's going to be rather interesting because I know nothing about this truck, how it goes together. It's obviously four-wheel drive. It superseded the Clodbuster, so it's four-wheel drive, but I was going to say it was the same as the Clodbuster, where the motors are on each end, but they're not. These two, this has twin motor, but it's together. And then I believe there's metal prop shafts with universal joints and what have you. So there's probably a fair bit of metal in this kit as well. So I'm going to be really intrigued to see it go together. And then when we add the original hop-ups, that's just going to be cool. Anyway, that's enough chat. Let me dig everything out. We'll get the manual out and we'll start at the beginning. Right, here we are. So on the left-hand side is all the sort of standard kit. That's parts bag A open, obviously it's bushes, but we have a full bearing set to go in it. Now, from here to the right is first of all, obviously all the gold bits are the hop-ups, all period correct, which is just off the chart. And then there's these other casings and things, and there's these metal bevel gears. So yeah, so there's a letter, I won't read it out, from Tamiya USA, basically saying what you get. Okay. Thanks, dear valued Tamiya customer. Thanks for the feedback to our US customers. and the efforts of Tamiya designers, Tamiya have redesigned several parts within the Juggernaut. Replacement of these parts with new parts will increase the durability of your kit and ensure a longer period between parts replacement. We recommend that you follow the attached instructions and replace all the obsolete parts with their new counterpart parts for better performing and a more durable truck. And then it gives you a list of what's there. And then there's a instruction sheet telling you exactly what you have to do, and a diagram. So it's only the gearbox, or gearboxes if there's two. I guess they're the same, but I'm guessing that. So yeah, now what I'm curious about, obviously if you look at that, it's just the two gearbox housings. So we've got that there, but we've also got that in the kit. So what I don't know is, so Keith sent me all this in the bag, so I don't know if that was upgraded plastic from that one or if there's any differences, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to build it from this side that Keith sent me in the sort of upgrade bag. But I've had a quick look, they do look the same. So no matter, I'm going to build these from these parts when the time comes, if that makes sense. In the kit there was also this instruction, some bearings, that's another little thing, and in the kit there was also these screws for this diff. So yeah, it's quite involved. It's obviously, and what I mean by that, it's not just a case of going from a manual. I'm gonna have to just keep double checking what I'm doing. So anyway, there's A. So let's get this build underway. Right, that's sections 2, 3 and almost 4 completed. So obviously all the gears, all the bearings are in there. We've used 2, 4, so there's 6 bearings in there already. Added a ton more grease. I'll add a little bit more before I close it up because it's really overemphasizing to go heavy on the grease. Well, not heavy, what does it say? Add grease to the following indicated areas. So it's, oh there it is, sorry, apply a generous amount of grease to these locations. So I'll add a little bit more before I lock it up, but this is the hardware to close it out. As I say, that is section 4, so let's get that bit completed. Okay, that's section 4 now complete. This all bolted together, it's got captive nuts all over it. So that's finished. Pair of bearings added to the gear. Pinions mounted on the motor. Now don't be shouting at the comments saying change those stupid alloy pinions, this is Keith's car, not mine. And I would imagine if he does run it, it'll get one light run and then it'll go on the shelf, so these pinions are fine. So I've dug that out, so now we're moving on to step 6, just having a look, which is to actually mount the motors. We've got a alloy motor mount, so let's get that done. Right then, that's section 6. That was enjoyable. Again, no idea how his truck goes together, but yeah, that's your main drive. So cool. So you obviously got to adjust a pitch of the pinions or whatever, but yeah, all in all, feels really nice. Yeah, that's awesome. So looking at instructions, number 7 is now to obviously add this to the gearbox, and again add extra grease. So let's get that bit finished. Right, so that's the gearbox finished. Very cool. I had no idea it went together like that, I've got to be honest. So obviously that full drive ends up on here, so a prop shaft either end to your front and rear gearboxes. Super cool. So just looking now, we're on stage 8 where we're supposed to be making 8 of those. Now that's where the first hop up comes in, because Keith sourced these. Obviously metal alloy. So these are built already. So we're going to jump from stage 8 onto 9, which is attaching. I've got to make 2 as well. So it's using the axles. Now obviously I'm going to use the upgraded ones, if indeed they are upgraded, I don't know. But it does tell you to use, I've since reread that, it does tell you to use the parts, what is it, A parts tree and whatever. So yeah, we'll use it all. So I'll dig all the bits out and we'll build 2 of those sections up next. Right, now we're up to section 10 is, well actually 10 is complete now. So section 9 was building the upper, what do they call them, upper differential gearboxes. So these plastic brackets, 2 bolts down, ball end on, brass ball end, and then clip whatever these things are called. Swing arms, that's what they're called. So you make two at the same time. So that's that one, and then in 10 it's the lower differential gearbox houses, which is just exactly the same, but it does use different bits. So now moving on to stage 11, which is the front and rear servo saver. Right, that's up to stage 12. So that's the front servo saver, and it tells you to heavily grease it. And that's the rear. And then we've made two pairs of the bevel gears, again using the upgraded stuff. Everything I've used is from the upgraded bag that Keith sent. So I'm starting to create a little bag to give him back of all the stuff not used, which is cool. So anyway, yes, so moving on to 13 now is we're going to add the bevel gears to the axle. Right, so as you can see, this is all the bevels in, bearings in the right places. It's not complicated, but I've got to keep an eye on what I'm doing here. So up to stage 14. So the front one, which will be this one, these are identical at the moment, but this, when I put this lid on there, that makes it the front. And then this is the one with the servo saver that goes on the rear. So we've got to screw that down. So we'll get that done, and then looking at instructions, moving on to 15, it's the differentials where we'll have to dig that upgrade pack out. Right, so that, what section was that? That's 15, which was the both differentials. Really heavy. It's actually blown me away how heavy these are cast. Damn. So a ton of grease all the way around. Gonna put the tops on now, and these are the upgraded screws that came with the upgraded pack. In fact, no, I tell a lie, sorry, I believe this upgrade came in the kit. So anyway, it is what it is. So let's bolt them down, and then next up is section 16, which is actually putting the diffs into the axles. Right, and that's where we're up to. So diff units in, all the bearings. Not been told to grease that just yet. That's strange, actually, it doesn't tell you to grease that. Sorry, I'm just checking the instructions. That's interesting. Why would you not grease that? Because... yeah, because it's right. It's got, on the top, it's got grease on that one, so I will add a little bit more grease to the main differential gear. I think more grease the better, given all these upgrades. So yeah, next job 17 is to put the tops on, but I think they're slightly different front and back. So yeah, let's get that done. Right then, that is section 18 completed. 17 and 18. Two different things. The only difference is actually one's got the one of the one's got steering servo saver. Yeah, I'm just looking. I actually don't know which is front and back. Anyway, that doesn't matter at the moment. So now moving on to 19 is to add the leaf sprung suspension to this. I had no idea it had leaf sprung leaves. I had absolutely no idea. This Juggernaut build is completely different to anything else I've ever built. It's really unique. Even other than building a clodbuster, which I've never built, but I've taken plenty apart and rebuilt them. Similar, but quite a bit different, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's get this suspension done. Right, that was a mission. Made a couple of errors on that stage. So as you can see, all the leaf springs are on. If you've never fitted any sort of Tamiya models with leaf spring, it's always fiddly. There's two sort of metal horseshoe brackets that sort of clamp it all down with show you, with a metal plate at the bottom. But you've got to kind of hold that in position. The the actual spring goes in a position, then this plastic bit goes in a position, and then you've got to put the other one on. And of course you've got all this rattling around. Sorry, let me just put this down. I don't want to scratch anything. So yeah, it was a bit of a mission, and when I put these on the springs, there's an indentation. Well, there's a pair of indentations on each one, and I thought I'd got it right looking at the instructions, but when I'd built all 4 of them, but what happened was it didn't allow them to spin all the way around like that. Because of the indentations, they were just hitting on the leaf spring. So I had to take all them back apart, which is nice. Anyway, it looks like, so that's 19, so 20 would be to make turnbuckles up, but as you saw earlier, Keith sent these Hop Up Originals. Very nice. So we'll save a bit of time there. So anyway, I'll get the next bit done and then I'll come back. Right, after a ton of messing around, because I made another mistake, the front and rear axle gearboxes are complete. I don't even know which is front and rear, but what I've done is, I know it's on the other one, so I'm not too sure what you last saw, but now the hubs are all made, bearings are in, circlips are all secure, greased, and now we've got the steering mechanism all connected, so that's obviously how that works. And I have to say, with those gold arms and the gold sidebars, this looks off the chart. This is the one I got wrong. I'd put this servo saver, I'd put on this side. Dumbass. So when I was looking at drawing, I was really confused. So it took me ages to work out what I'd done. But anyway, yeah, that's the second one. So you can see how that works. Awesome. So that's up to 23. So now we're on to 24, which is, looks like a front or rear bumper. Doesn't tell me if it's front or rear. Attached to both front and rear. Okay, right. So that, yeah, that makes sense. So that's these 2 guards here. So I'll dig the hardware out and let's get them fitted. Right, that's front and back bumpers on, which takes us to step 25. Which is to dig parts bag F out, and it's kind of fitting the radio gear, because all this, I don't know if you're aware, came with the 3-step mechanical speed controller, which is cool. So that's going in. Keith did send me somewhere some servos, these 25 kg ones. He sent me 2 of those, so yeah, I guess he wanted me to fit them. Sorry, I was looking at other stuff. Anyway, let's bat on. Right, a little bit more work. Just done a few bits off camera. That's 27, 28, 29. So we'll be starting on 30. But we've made these 2 side plates with the ball ends on. Obviously this is part of the chassis now. I've made the, which I presume will be for the 3-speed mechanical speed controller, so I've got all that done. Got the servo head on the steering servo, and we've also built this rear bracket, and these are hinges, because when we come to do the body, the truck bed lifts up on hinges, which is kind of cool. Not seen that before. So yeah, step 30, now we're going to start putting the chassis together. Right, and that's the 2 chassis sides done. Very cool. Obviously a mix of metal and plastic. Yeah, it's kind of cool this, because I don't know, I don't know this kit at all. And yeah, when you start doing bits like this, you're like, okay, that's different. Right, so that takes us up to step 31, which is to do the sides of the chassis. So I think I'll just get all 31 and 32 done, and then that chassis is going to be kind of complete and all sturdy. And that, my friends, is the chassis. It's kind of cool. Fair bit of work gone into that. There's yeah, there's a lot of stuff to stick on it and bolt onto it. You see all the mounts are on, all the aluminium mounts are on now, or steel I think that is. And then the truck bed will screw onto those 2, and then when you disconnect it halfway, the whole bed will lift up on that hinge, which is kind of cool. So that takes us, that's 33 done. So 34 is to put the steering servo into the chassis. Actually, we're getting to the deep end, the sharp end now. Looks like everything's going to start getting bolted to the chassis. Anyway, let's work on stage 34. Right, 40 minutes later, could not get this servo in, and I'll explain as I go on. So as you can see, I've swapped it out. So this was the one that Keith sent me. To all intents and purposes, just looks like a normal servo. Anyway, what was happening was, so there's the servo mounts are here, and there go 2 bolts there, and then there's this plate that goes on and sits over the head, which is quite clever. But this bracket was really under strain with Keith's servo, and enough that it wouldn't do that. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I thought, I kept checking what I'd done, took it all out, rebuilt it and whatever, and I was like, but what it is, it's the thickness of the servo lip. Now, unfortunately, no, you're not going to be able to see that now. But, or maybe you will on big screen, I don't know. But if I put it side by side, let's see if I can get rid of that. Great camera this, great filming, isn't it? I don't know if you can see the difference, but this more modern day servo, this lip's probably another 2mm thicker. Obviously this is a very old design, only built for the standard servos of the day. So anyway, I'll leave this one in, but you get the gist of how that works. But sorry about that, Keith. I'll send this one back to you. Put it in the bag as we speak. Right. God, wasted too much time on that bit. Right, instructions wise. I don't know where I am. I'll come back when I've done the next bit. And that, my friends, is the chassis. So cool. So since you last saw it, now the centre gearbox is in, with the universal joints on either side. I thought it was clever when I was putting the motors in. I thought, oh, we'll have the Mabushi stickers on show, but yeah, they're upside down, so on the top of the car it's just silver. Not to worry. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really, really awesome. That's a crazy chassis. That is a crazy chassis. I was thinking as I started putting it together, there's not much weight in it, because obviously there's a ton of weight in the gearboxes and whatever, but yeah, it's getting up there now in weight. Such a cool design. Very, very cool. Not built anything like this. It's very enjoyable. Anyway, next stage now is to get the gearboxes in, front and rear, so let's get that done. Damn, would you look at that thing? That's incredible. I had no idea it was this type of chassis, to be honest. I don't know what I expected. More plastic, I think. Yeah, I guess more plastic. What a thing. I'm really hoping I've got the front and rear gearboxes on the right way around. This is the front, and I know that because of the hinge unit for the truck bed. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So, God, so much to see. So all the both prop shafts, steering's not connected yet, but both prop shafts are in. What a thing. God damn. Yeah, I had no idea that's what it can. Yeah, sorry, I'm babbling on, but I'm kind of, yeah, I had no idea with the leaf suspension and stuff like that, and this kind of cool alloy and plastic chassis and digital motors up here. It's just very cool. Right, I think the next stage is to build the shocks up, but obviously we've Keith sent the upgraded option house, not option house, that's Chaos Show, hop ups from Tamiya, so I'll check those out and then we'll get those on. Whew, right, my friends, yes, obviously I had the gearboxes on the wrong way around, so I had to take it all apart and switch it around because I'm a dick. And the only way I found it out was when I was going to connect the steering rods and they were on the opposite side. Anyway, let me get this in camera for you. What a chassis. So I'll stick this up so we know that's the bottom. Sorry, I'm just looking at something myself. Yeah, cool. Oh my word. What? That a tank? That's incredible. Again, I had absolutely no idea how this thing went together, but it is bloody cool, I'll tell you that much. You need to be a bit of a bodybuilder to do the suspension, but you get how that works. Oh my word. Yeah, and steering, 4-wheel drive steering, or 4-wheel steer, is all working. Damn, what a thing. So looking at instructions now, it's put like there's a big plastic top tray, but where your battery goes and what have you. So yeah, we'll just carry on, but my word, what a thing. What an absolute thing. It's incredible, actually. It really is incredible. And I don't know why. Is that marked up? I don't think so. It's that polished stainless, isn't it? Picks up everything. Same with that one. Anyway, my goodness me. Keith, this is a hell of a thing, my friend. Anyway, we're on a roll. Nothing more can go wrong. Now it will, now I've said that. You know how that works. But anyway, let's crack on. Right, so that's the top plate. Some 2 metal brackets on the side, aerial mount, and some little brackets there, and a battery holder mount. And the mechanical speedo is set up and on the tray. So looking at the instructions now, we are on, what we've done, 39, we've done 40, so we're on 41, which is to fit this plastic tray now with the battery strap and mount that to the chassis itself. And that is that top tray in position. So there's only a box, I'll show you in a sec. So there, this is where your battery goes. So that pulls out, lifts up, obviously your battery. And then back up, and as you can see, that's all nice and neat. And then just thought I'd show you that like that first, because there's then a box that goes on and covers it. And looking at instructions, that's up to 45 now. I have also made all the connections underneath to the motors, but that comes out, that lifts out really easily. So yeah, it's just a case of sticking, what is it, three screws, stick that front box down, and then I'll dig the wheels out and finish the wheel hubs. I'm not too sure what you do. I think there's that brass bit, isn't there? And then there's the outer that goes on. And then we'll get the wheels on. What a thing, my friends, what a thing. And that, my friends, is an all original Tamiya Juggernaut 1 with Juggernaut 2 upgrades as far as the misgivings it had as standard. God damn, what a thing. And it's heavy. No surprises there. Very cool. The Keith, the gold is just amazing. It's so cool. It really does set that chassis off. Far more than I ever imagined, to be honest. Super cool thing. And it's huge. And she's done. And that was a real unexpected pleasure to put together. Now I need to justify what I've just said there, don't I? I kind of thought it'd be very similar to the Clodbuster, and it's really not. So just by that fact alone, I didn't know any of the processes. So just every part of this build was awesome, and with Keith's hop-ups, that gold just looks incredible. And it's just in the right places, obviously the shocks and then those sidebars and the steering linkages. Yeah, it just looks really cool. First time you can sort of Feel the diff. Or diffs. But yeah, incredible. That's taken all day actually to do. But I kind of didn't rush it. I was just kind of enjoying it. It's a big old lump though, isn't it? Yeah, that's awesome. I made so many mistakes, guys, on today's build. It was unreal. And it was genuine mistakes. It wasn't me just trying to like rush or thinking I know what I was doing. I was like following instructions. And I think it was at least 3 occasions where I had to take bits back off, especially the last one, which was those when I had to swap the gearboxes around the front and back end. That was a mission. But anyway, we got there in the end. So there's another 2 videos to do with this. The next one you'll see with this truck is the complete box art body set. Nothing special about it, just complete box art. And it's going to look amazing. And then the 3rd video will be my Tamiya Legends custom shell video. Then that's the whole purpose of why Keith sent me this. So as I said, we've got a whole other body set. We've got some different tyres. There's a reason for that. And we've got some decals, got some Tamiya Legends decals. He wants it in matte white, the same I did that lunchbox in. Beautiful colour. And there's just different colour lenses, different LEDs. There's a cage if I want. There's massive bumpers. I don't even know what else there is in there. It's pretty crazy actually. But let's get the standard one out of the way first, which will be good practice for me, putting that one together, seeing how it goes together. I actually assumed it was the same as the mountain rider I have, but this is an F4 F350, so it's more modern. It's got a much nicer grille actually, or a more modern grille, chrome, so it's going to look awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting the box art finished and seeing a Juggernaut in the flesh for the first time, because I've never seen one in real life. Yeah, truly is a thing of, oh my god, that's heavy. But yeah, very special. Anyway, actually before, Keith, if you're watching, sorry it took so long, but you made this old man very happy today. I really enjoyed that, my friend. And to everyone else, if you are still watching, you deserve a medal. Thank you so much. And until the next one, we'll see you soon. And happy arseeing.